Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradetolife.com and welcome to this video which is called Manifesting is Making the Unseen Seen. So what does that even mean, right? A lot of people still think that manifesting means that they have to create something, that they have to use tons of hard work and effort and force to create something, to make something so. But that does not work. That is not how it works, right? Manifesting simply means aligning, shifting into, selecting, and therefore experiencing new circumstances. But that which you select, that which you choose already does exist, right? Creation is finished. You can't create something new. You can only enter a new portion of the already existing creation, and therefore that opens up to you. So again, in this video, I wanted to explain to you what this means and how you can now change the way that you see manifesting and understand manifesting, so that you really understand what does it even mean when we say, I manifest something. All right. So with that, let us just dive right in. And here is my explanation. And then I also want to share some quotes with you. So, like I said, like the title of this video, manifesting is making the unseen already existing reality seen, right? The invisible states, the invisible potential seen, right? There's this infinite potential, those infinite, states and realities, however you want to call that, and you can bring them into sight. You can bring them into this world and make them tangible also for your senses by assuming that unseen state, but more on that later, right? So making the unseen seen, right, doesn't mean, first of all, that you create something new. So this weight is also lifted off your shoulders, right? You don't have to force something new. You can't create something new. How relaxing is, first of all, that to know. You can't create something new. Everything does already exist. Everything is already available within you, within your awareness, within your being, within that ever-present I am. So it's all already there. We simply select and choose. So manifesting means making something that already is tangible for our senses by assuming that currently for our senses unseen state, aka reality. So the desire already exists. That's also a thing that a lot of people don't understand. They still think that desiring is bad, that desiring equals lack. That is wrong, right? Desire is simply a pointer, like a nudge to what is already available for you. But as long as you don't allow that desire in, as long as you don't shift in that desire and shift into the wish fulfilled of the desire, you will keep desiring it, right? I made a video called Are You Still Desiring? You can check this out above. So meaning the fact alone that you can be conscious of it, that you can be aware of the desire, of the wish fulfilled, that you can imagine it, means that it does exist, right? First of all, you can never ever have a desire that is not possible, right? That would be self-torture. That doesn't work. Every single desire that you have is possible, does exist as a potential, right? But again, as long as you don't align with it, as long as you don't shift into having it, into being it, you can't experience the results, the manifestations of that new state, right? And you will keep desiring it. So you have to translate desiring into being. More on that also later and in other videos on my channel. But the good news is that, first of all, you don't have to create something. Manifesting doesn't mean creating. It simply means making something tangible that already does exist, right? And also, if you now have a new desire, this is not lack, this is nothing bad. This is simply a nudge, something that is available for you. Otherwise, you could not even desire it. So the fact that you could desire it, the fact that you can imagine it, be aware of the wish fulfilled means it is available. Now, your only job as the operant power is to identify with that end, make that end natural, shift into the end state, right? Imagine that end as already being fulfilled. So what we do, right, is becoming conscious of portions, right? Portions of creation, snippets of creation of that which already exists, aka shifting states, right? So this is why Neville also gave this metaphor of these infinite mansions, these infinite rooms in like a big mansion, right? This house of God, this house of your creator, where you have all the possibilities are available. There are all of these rooms, and you simply select a new room. You simply select a new state, right? And if you are right now here, and you want to be here, you want to be in that state, in that room, you don't have to work out the ways. First, you need to go in this room, then in this room, then in this room, then you can be in your desired room. No, your imagination allows you to instantly dwell in the end, to instantly occupy the end state and make that natural. That is what your imagination, your true self allows you, is to right now within you experience the wish as fulfilled, as you accept it, right? Believe you have received, and then you will. So what we do when we imagine something is, again, that we take our awareness, we take our focus away from what is currently like physically crystallized and manifested in our world, and we like place our awareness. This is what we coined imagination, right? What we coined imagination simply means placing our awareness on something that is currently not tangible, on an untangible, intangible, non-manifested, unseen state or already existing reality. That's simply what imagining means, right? And the more you do that, the more you align with that, the more you make it natural, the more you shift into that. And then you open up this new portion of creation. But that already existed. You didn't create it. You simply placed your awareness on something else and made that alive in your world. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay? So it's about choosing something rather than creating something out of nothing. Right? It's not that you create it out of nothing. It is already there. You simply have picked it. You've chosen it, you've identified with it, you've selected it, you've assumed that state, you've occupied that state, you shifted to the end, you made it natural, and therefore, as a result, the mirror can confirm that which you now made alive within you. But it's not that you created that, right? You are not in that sense, you are not a creator, right? You're more a conscious chooser of what you want to choose next. But you simply choose something that is already there. So really take a deep breath and realize that comfort that this understanding gives you. Right? You don't have to, if I want to have more success in my business, then I don't have to create that and work out ways and suffer and be there. Oh, like, what can I do? How can I help more people? How can I make upgrade to life bigger? No, that's not what I have to worry about. That means simply I'm trying to make it so I'm not there yet. But I can place my awareness on the state where I already am super successful and work with a lot of people and help a lot of people and transform the world by helping more people use their imagination, their awareness consciously. So therefore, I place my awareness on that state, I connect my consciousness to that state, I make it natural, I shift into the end state, and therefore that portion opens up to me. So, of course, from the outside, other people will say, maybe I created that for myself, but actually I just aligned with that already existing portion of creation. That is what manifesting is, right? And then also this whole entire quote from Neville Goddard, which is walk by faith, not by sight. I think this is even in the Bible, right? Walk by faith, not by sight. Means that walking by sight simply means you walk by what your senses currently tell you. You walk by everything that your senses currently can confirm to you, such as this is there, but this is not there yet. But this is very limited. But when you walk by faith, is meaning you walk by what you experience within. And then you start to notice over time that the reality of things is within you, not out there. Because how can this be reality when this always catches up to what you do within you, right? So if I say, this is my reality right now, my circumstances, my life, and when I imagine that's only daydreaming, but then I do imagine and see new results, and then I do imagine and see new results, and I place my awareness on that state and see the reflections of the state that I shifted into, then how can this, what always molds around my internal world, be the reality? Right? Soon you realize that, wait a second, within this reality, your internal world, your internal states, what you assume to where you dwell within, that is where you are. And the external world will always catch up to confirm that where you stand within. If that is for money, business, relationships, health, friendships, lifestyle, your job situation, your career, it doesn't matter. But in order for you to get these new results, you have to be it first and have it first within. Right? So walking by faith simply meaning by walking and knowing the world from where you dwell within, and no longer accept the external facts, but only where you stand within, right? So sight, walking by sight would mean that you walk by what the mirror of life currently shows you, by what it currently confirms to you, which again is just the previous reflection of what you previously identified with. That is why you have to get out of this loop and vicious cycle of looking at what is and therefore forming your internal state out of what currently is present. So if you see lack and you say, oh, I lack money, I don't have the relationship, I'm bad at my health, and you take your cue from what is currently manifested, presently there, then you just give that state even more life. I made an entire video on this called The Life Cycle That You Have to Understand. Definitely check this video out, right? But you want to go within and assume a new state without having a reason, right? Your senses will deny it. Your logical reasoning mind and chronological thinking mind will deny it because it has no reason to believe that this is possible. But you have the ability to go beyond your senses simply with your imagination. If you would have no imagination, like I said in many other videos, you would be tied to your present state and present circumstances. But because you have imagination, think about that. right? How amazing is that? How wonderful is that? That you can imagine any wish fulfilled, any desire as already being fulfilled right now within you, right? Your imagination is not separate from you. It is the core essence of your being, right? Where you are in imagination, that is where you are. And if you remain there, you will be externally also be there. So if right now I'm here, my senses tell me I'm here, I close my eyes and imagine myself being at the beach and really experience the satisfaction of being there, then I am there at this moment. I open my eyes again and my senses tell me I'm here, but actually right now I was at the beach. And then everything will happen to manifest me going on that vacation, being on that beach. As crazy as it sounds, but the conviction of that, the proof of that, you will get that via the application. So first you can't trust that teaching. First you can't trust these principles. That is okay, right? But imagining creates reality. That is a very straightforward statement. But again, imagining creates reality doesn't mean that you create reality. We should translate this to imagining helps you to identify with an already existing state, which will then be made manifest in your life. That is how you would have to translate it, because imagining something doesn't create that. Imagining simply helps you to identify with that version of you, that stated identity that already is and has who you want to be and what you want to have. Okay? So again, you go within. Your senses tell you currently the lack, it's not here yet, you are not it yet, you don't have it yet. That is okay. That is what your senses tell you. They're limited. Let the mirror currently show you what it shows you. That's okay. Don't fight that. Don't force the mirror. You go within, and without any proof, without any confirmation, first of all, you assume that you are it. You assume that you have it. You bath yourself in that wish fulfilled. You imagine acts and scenes and congratulations, and you use methods that resonate with you personally. Don't take what any person tells you that you have to do. Pick something that resonates with you to internally experience the wish fulfilled and bath yourself in having it and being it, right? And therefore, you don't ignore the circumstances, right? But when you make something new, natural for yourself internally, when you let an old state die and you make a new state internally natural for yourself, then the current circumstances will automatically seem to be unnatural, old, no longer relevant for you. You might still see the red numbers in your bank account. You might still encounter that you're lonely right now. You might still encounter that you have some symptoms. But that simply won't trigger any longer because you already shifted into an entirely new state where something new is natural and certain to you, right? So manifesting doesn't mean creating. Manifesting simply means picking out of the infinite creation, which is finished. Everything that you could ever imagine already does exist. Everything that you could ever desire already does exist. Simply aligning with that portion of creation where you are that already, where you have that already. You make this natural, right? And then, therefore, this new portion of creation opens up to you. Therefore, you then encounter the contents that come with the room that you selected, the room that you shifted into, right? Your world will then confirm the state that you've selected. And now I want to share some quotes with you from Neville, which I think are extremely powerful, and they will also undermine everything that I just explained. So Neville said, creation is finished. All that you ever have been, or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or ever will be, exists right now. Not in the past, not in the future. It exists right now within you. This is what is meant by creation, and the statement that creation is finished means that nothing is ever to be created. It is only to be manifested, meaning to be made tangible, but it already exists as an unseen reality, right? What is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. And becoming aware of what already is, meaning imagining something that already is, currently unseen for your senses, right? You simply become aware of increasing portions of that which already exists. That is what we do when we manifest. That is what we do when we imagine. We become aware of something that's currently unseen, an unseen state, an unseen reality, but it still exists. We become aware of it, and whatever we are aware of, whatever we are identified with, that is what we get back in life. In your formless awareness, and that is one of my favorite quotes, in your formless awareness lies buried all that you will ever conceive yourself to be. The recognition of this truth will transform you from an unskilled laborer who tries to make it so, who tries to become, who tries to get, who tries hard work and force, to a great artist who recognizes it to already be so, right? It is already done. And you can recognize that it is already done by simply closing your eyes and imagining something that implies that it is already done. to give you this state of the wish fulfilled. And then you feel like, wow, it is already done. I am already it. I already do have it. Remember what Abdullah told Neville when Neville wanted to go to Barbados. You are already in Barbados. You already have it. It is already done. You already achieved it. He simply wanted to help Neville to get into the state of the realization and knowing that Neville has already achieved it, because it does already exist. All right? So, yeah, you will be a great artist who recognizes that it already is so, that it already does exist, because again, creation is finished, and you can align with that already existing version of you and state an identity that has what you want to desire and that is who you want to be. So your claim that you are now that which you want to be will remove the veil of human darkness and reveal your claim perfectly. I am that, right? I am that right now, even though there's no proof. I am healthy, I'm strong, I'm financially stable, I'm in this relationship, I'm happily partnered, I have a great lifestyle. Whatever you place your awareness on and identify with, even though currently you don't see the confirmation of that, you will soon get the confirmation of that new state that you selected, right? It does exist. This is already in existence. This is already available for you. Okay, and I do have a video which is called Your Desire is Your Hidden Identity. I will link this above right now. This is one of my favorite videos because, again, this means that simply what you desire is simply a nudge that, hey, this is already available. Do you want to have it? Do you want to experience it? Great. Then identify with me. Identify with this state. So check out this video. If you will see that all things are now, you don't become something. You never become something. You simply select the state that you would occupy, that already existing state. Externally, right? Other people will see you go through a seemingly bridge of incidents. Even your rational mind will think that you go through certain steps. But actually, right now, you can internally be in the end, assume the end, and see the world from that end state. Even though it's not manifested, it's like you look through your senses and already notice and feel like and think like that it is already done. So you already wish fulfilled. It is done. There is nothing to wait. And then over time, your world, your mirror will confirm that. But you wear it all the time already within. Right? The wish fulfilled happens within, and the manifestation happens as a consequence of the wish fulfilled. I also did a video that explains this topic. Right? Manifestation is a consequence of the wish fulfilled that you experience within yourself. Right? Walking by faith. This is now a personal story out of Neville Goddard's family and his brother Victor, who manifested a multi-million-dollar business. Okay, so walking by faith. Every day as Victor passed that building, he saw like a certain thing on the marquee, right, in place of the currently existing name that was standing on this marquee. Right, sight, his senses, his logical mind told him that the building belonged to someone else, that the building was, not already in the Goddard family, right? But faith, right, his internal world, his imagination, what he saw with the eye of God, what he experienced in his imagination said that the building was his. Because internally he already experienced, he saw, he imagined, right? He placed his awareness on the portion of creation where already the building says, Goddard and Sons. So he knew that is real for him, not what his senses currently tell him. And by simply rearranging the structure of his mind every day for 2 years, our family's fortunes changed because that then manifested, right? So this is the power you have, right? If you walk by sight, you're very limited and you only walk currently what your senses permit and tell you. If you walk by faith, you walk by your imaginal scenes, by the things that you experience internally that are currently not seen yet. But soon they will become seen, they will become manifested. You simply selected them. But they already did existed, you didn't create them. You have the power either to live by faith, by your inner world, or by sight, by what your senses tell you. If you live by sight, accepting everything that happens, you remain an automaton, right? You remain like an automat, you remain like robotic, stagnant on a plateau, nothing will move forward, unable to change the conditions and events of your world. Only as you begin to live by faith will your life change, right? Only as you begin to live by the imagined scenes, and you know that you imagined it, you know that you experienced the congratulation, you know that you heard the words. Your senses will tell you no, you didn't. But imaginatively, you did experience them, didn't you? You did hear the words. I can right now close my eyes and hear my mother congratulate me on having achieved it. And the more I do that, the more this conviction within me will grow that this is actually true for me, that I actually experienced that. And then I will walk by faith. I will if she congratulates me on having the new car, but right now the car isn't here yet, I'm not bothered by this. I'm not concerned by this because I know I walk by faith. I know that I actually already do have the car. I walk by what my imagination told me, what my inner world told me. And as I remain in that wish-fulfilled state, I will manifest the car. But I actually already do have the car within. It will then simply be also seen and simply made tangible. But I do already have it within. So I hope that with this video, I could make clear to you what manifesting means. Right? Manifesting is making unseen states, unseen portions of creation, unseen realities tangible by shifting into them, by assuming them, by occupying them, by selecting them, and simply making a bold choice that this is who I am right now. No compromise, no compromising. Just a bold declaration, a bold assumption that this is who I am right now. Not accepting anything that is not your ideal. I also have a video called Don't Accept Anything That Is Not Your Ideal. Check this out if you want to. Right? So for me, a very powerful revelation once I got this a couple of years ago, and now I wanted to bring it in this video. Let me know in the comments down below if this is clear to you, if you now know what manifesting is, if you have any questions on that, and if you need help with these concepts, with Neville's principles, with the law of assumption. Check out the 2 links that you will find in the video description and pinned comments. One is my free masterclass, where I'm giving you an insight into what matters, into why people delay their manifestations and are not able to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. And if you're ready for the next step, right? If you say you want accountability, you want me as your accountability partner, coach, mentor, friend, and you want to work with me and like-minded people, be in contact, talk, and just implement these principles in your life so that we can make sure that you shift into and stay in the state of the wish fulfilled to manifest your personal desires, then you can also apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with me. That's the second link in the description, pinned comments. You can just fill out the survey, apply for the free call. It's non-binding, and there we can find out if we are a good fit, right? So that's it. Creation is finished. You don't create something. You simply align with an already existing state. For me, that is such a huge relief and so easy, and I know that everything already is. And if I have a new desire, I know that already exists. I simply have to go into the wish fulfilled within first before my mirror, before my world can confirm that state to me, right? Very straightforward. So thank you really much for watching, and I speak to you in the next video. Bye, guys.